So I'm Kevin Bohlin from Ritual Coffee Roasters in San Francisco, California. I work at our Valencia store location as well as our Hayes Valley Coffee Bar, which is a really fun shipping container. You should come. Last spring I got to go to Central America. I spent some time in Honduras and in Guatemala, and I spent the day at this farm, Merced, in Guatemala, and just learned so much during that whole time. Because the producer, Juan Luis, spent some time, part of his time growing up in Oklahoma, and so, you know, communication-wise was very fortunate, you know, versus some of the other producers we work with. And just learning so much about the agronomy side of coffee producing was just inspiring. It was a lot of fun. And then when I found out that his coffee farm was turning 100 years old this year, I was like, oh man, we got to do it. You know, we got to do it. And because he's so accessible, you know, he came and did a presentation at our one of our coffee bars, and so we were talking about it and talked about the idea of, you know, if it worked out, of getting some really fresh stuff. You know, if we could do it. I didn't think it was going to happen, and then like all of a sudden our green buyer was like, I changed dates of my trip. I'm going to be there, you know, the weekend before competition. And we're like, oh man, let's do it. You know, it's a gamble. Who knows? Honestly, it was super fresh, and who knows what espresso that fresh even tastes like. It could have been really not like super grassy, or, you know. Yeah. So it was great. You know, we went and spent the night at the house on the farm with his aunts, and just hearing family stories was so special. You know, and hearing about Papi Jolly and, you know, and a lot of the hardships through, you know, the 70s and the 80s, and what things were like then, and just hearing some really great stories about the people that lived there with them and worked with them and their loyalty. You know, it was really cool. In any event, so he had separated the first 5 days of early picking. So before the actual harvest starts, they go to certain sections and they just look for cherries that are ripening before everything else. So it's not even a full picking, it's like, you know, just sparse things. And that's kind of risky too. It's like, you know, what does that mean? And so there were 5 sections. We cupped all of them, and there was one that just stood out. I mean, it's super clean, bright, you know, juicy. It was delicious. We took it to Antigua, had it dry milled. He has a wet mill, but he didn't have a dry mill, so we had it dry milled, and just 40 pounds, enough to carry on.
The people that dry mill say like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a little odd. Yeah, they were definitely like, what? That just doesn't usually happen, you know, but it just turned out so great. Oh man, it's so delicious. I mean, tasting it, you know, just a few days ago for the first time, I was like, just like nervous. Like, what if this sucks?
Do you want to thank anyone?
Absolutely. You know, of course, just the folks at Ritual and our roastery, you know, our roasters, Steve, our green buyer, for giving me the opportunity to go there, and Eileen, and, you know, just to go and learn and have that opportunity is phenomenal, and just the support of, you know, everybody. It was a whole, I'm just the last stop, you know, on the whole thing. And of course, Juan Luis and his family, you know, the Ortegas and their hospitality, and just, they're so warm and so inviting, and it just made it so special. Like, I didn't come out here thinking I want to represent myself or like show people something about me. It was like, I need to represent this coffee and this family and do it justice, and so that was really special.